Thinking about hunting with my trad bow tomorrow night, doing some jump shooting. But that presented me a problem. How to film it? Well, check out my highly advanced, super awesome camera harness for my Martin Hunter in 75 pounds. Wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, it is pleasant to hunt something that you want very much over a long period of time, being outwitted, outmaneuvered, and failing at the end of each day. But having the hunt and knowing every time you are out that sooner or later your luck will change and that you will get the chance that you are seeking. But it is not pleasant to have a time limit by which you must get your kudu, or perhaps never get it, nor even see one. It is not the way hunting should be. It is too much like those boys who used to be sent to Paris with 2 years in which to make good as writers or painters, after which, if they had not made good, they could go home and into their father's business. The way to hunt is for as long as you live against as long as there is such and such an animal, just as the way to paint is as long as there is you and colors and canvas, and to write as long as you can live and there is pencil and paper or ink or any machine to do it with, or anything you care to write about, and you feel a fool and you are a fool to do it any other way.
Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. Who's ready to get tribal?
It had been so long since I had actually been hunting that I had forgotten how much I enjoyed the raw passion and suspense. What I had planned to do was go into a property that had a pond, see if I kicked up a deer with my Martin Hunter. I wasn't terribly concerned about my compound bow, because if there was to be any shooting, I wouldn't have time to aim and it would need to be purely instinctive. Moving through thick timber such as this in a silent manner takes incredible practice, and in case you haven't figured it out, I am a professional amateur. Nevertheless, as I moved through the trees as quietly as I possibly could, I was excited, and I saw an opportunity in the train whistle as it blew to cover the noise of my movement. The train whistle is always there, every day, and the animals, in theory, should be acclimated to it. But every day of hunting is exactly the same, and every day of hunting is just a little bit different. The excitement is the same. The suspense is the same. The primitive passion is the same. Sometimes your luck takes a turn for the better, and sometimes your luck just isn't there. I moved through the trees, scanning the thick underbrush, crawling on my hands and knees with my bow braced upon the ground, filming to the best of my ability, working my way to a ridge above the pond. Occasionally I would see what looked to be white in amongst the brush, and it is easy to understand through a hunter seeking his game why hunting accidents can happen so easily. Stopping, I listened. I moved on, very much like a misguided Boy Scout, but with the excitement of a puppy on his first pheasant. However, unlike the dog, I did not have the scent of a primal being to guide me. And so as I blundered through this small patch of timber, I wished that I had the stealth of an animal and not the weakness of a human. But as I have said, we hunt to prove to ourselves that we deserve to live. And as I neared my destination, hoping to find an animal at the water drinking or bedded in the cattails, I continued to move. This method is known as still hunting. Walk a bit, look a bit. Walk a bit, look a bit. And so I moved on. The air was cold, and for once the wind was in my face. I could feel the air crisp on my bare arms and feel it burning the inside of my nose. I could taste my own excitement and almost see my own breath. Moving slowly on my hands and knees, trying to plot a way through this thick brush. Hope upon hope that I would see a majestic whitetail. However, I saw nothing but the swaying branches. Looking for a deer is different than looking for God, because God is always there, even if you don't see Him. Looking for deer, most of the time you're fooling yourself, because they're either there or they aren't. And when they aren't there, you end up feeling incredibly silly for pretending to have hunted. I became incredibly excited, and my fingers tightened on my bow and upon my string as I attempted to make my way through the brush to the top of the ridge, ready for at any moment a shot that might present itself. Watching, listening, hoping that the wind would hold, my eyes peering above me, hoping that no birds would sound their alarm calls. I heard the train whistle again, and I moved quicker, scanning, looking, trying to listen for the cough of a deer who had winded me. My excitement was at a fever pitch as I made my way to the spot where I was going to sit and watch the water. I could see a fresh rub line in the trees across from me, and the water was littered with tracks in the mud around it. But yet after a few hours of sitting and the shooting light fading, I wondered if something had circled around behind me when it came across the field. And so I made my way back, heavy of heart and filled with excitement, through the darkening woods, this tiny pocket jungle that God planted just for me. Different sights, different sounds, different smells, and the same familiar excitement. We heard at the beginning of this adventure words from Ernest Hemingway, one of the world's greatest outdoorsmen that ever lived, and his words filled my head as I moved through the underbrush, making my way out, hope upon hope, that at any moment a deer might spring from its bed, and I might land an arrow in its heart with my recurve bow.
Ain't such a thing as a bad day of hunting. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Please check out my friends over at illegallyconcealed.org. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. Thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.